Bruh.
Okay.
Brother's like.
And we are live. Good morning. How you doing? Welcome to Reroute Podcast. I'm my guy Elvis right here. We're about to kick it out.
Let's get in, bro.
Yeah.
The shit out.
So basically, today we're going to be discussing about the family structures. Basically, the whole structures that make us as individuals, us as human beings, us as Africans, the type of setups we're going into. Because with Reroute Podcast, the motto is we're rerouting from our past experiences, from our past traumas. I don't know how many you've heard.
Right, film. I feel like this kind of items are countless because there's some traumas that you can remember clearly. Then some items over like you don't remember them, but then they affect you.
True. Because definitely some traumas you can notice them, but there's some you can't even notice because maybe they're coming from close people. Have you ever seen the way we even like give people that are close to us, or even in our relationships, how we might let shit slide? We don't even notice that shit.
Yeah, because if you think about it, for example, for people who don't realize the traumas that they had, think of a person, let's say for me, example, I can be a rough person.
Yeah.
I wasn't born rough.
True.
It definitely came from somewhere.
Yeah.
But then I would think that is part of who I am. So that means at some point in my life,
somewhere just happened. And
something, exactly. Something happened that sort of molded my character into the person that I am right now.
Yeah, that's crazy. Because in a certain way, imagine like how one event can change your whole structure and your whole persona as a person. Now there could be so many events that occurred as you were growing up, as you were in primary school, as you were in high school, as even the first relationship you had or whatever. Like so many situations and experiences. We end up seeing a serial killer and we don't even know the shit that happened in the past.
Yeah, because sometimes we might think like this can be controversial, but then, for example, serial killers, some of them obviously spew hatred.
True.
And this can be deciphered in different ways. Maybe the causes can be different and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But then to some extent, some of them can be mental health. And that means this is medical. Nothing to do with your past.
True.
But then some of them, not justifying the reasons for them killing people.
Yeah.
But then it's the childhood. It can be from the time they were children, bullying, different things.
Yeah, this is what we're saying, that even in the whole context of us being in Africa and all this, how are we even able to spot the serial killers in our communities? How is it being triggered? Because these are the stuff that could actually be stopped when kids are still in primary. To notice that this kid could be going through a mental issue like this and stop it right there. But the whole system influences the growth of such behaviors that at the end of the day, you have people that are doing so many hateful shit in the world.
Yeah, definitely. Because if you think about it, bro, like you mentioned, like those things can be stopped from primary school.
Yeah.
For example, because most people concentrate mainly when people are not adults. But if you fuck up, go to jail, get beaten up. But then if you think about it, our generation, especially here in Africa, we don't normalize things like therapy.
Like nothing like that is normal. Imagine even yourself in primary. Who did you have to talk to you about the events that you were going through? We're talking about the family structure. You come home, you meet your relatives. The only question they ask you is, how is school? Like, no one bothers to get into your mental, into how you're socializing with your friends, or to even look how a 6-year-old is around the other friends. Like, literally, we're just leaving kids to go through and pick up traumas in primary schools.
And most traumas, we think about them, brother, happen when you're kids.
Yeah.
And so in the traumas, the people that implicate them, it's not someone who's far away.
Right?
It's people that are close by. Think of all the girls that have talked about abuse at some point in their lives.
So many girls.
Uncles, brothers. But then the fact that as parents, African parents, and I'm going to talk about Africa. I don't know about other countries.
We don't keep it domestic like that.
Exactly. Like our parents, that thing about like, don't concentrate on other things, but mental health, your social life, they don't put a microscope on that.
But now my question is, do you think there's a way to try to introduce your family to stuff like therapy, or to tell them that, yo, guys, we need, that's an untouchable topic in an African household?
Bruh, first of all, the way you're going to bring that one up, it's going to be almost impossible. Second, you know, African parents. First thing, cost a lot of money.
Yeah.
Third,
money though.
Do you have problems? What are you not telling us?
Yeah.
I mean, like, the first thing they know how to respond to your problem is by aggression.
Aggression.
You get it? Instead of just saying, oh, what makes you think of that? What's going on?
What's going on?
You get it? That way I can open up freely.
But also, like, the point you raised about money, I also think, in a way, we should be able to note, like, how economically our families are, our societies are.
Yeah.
To say that, okay, a therapist is expensive, right? Most of my friends have never been to a therapist. Most of my family members have never been to a therapist and shit like that. But what ways can we introduce people? Because sometimes in an African household, an aunt can be a therapist for some people.
Yeah.
A big brother can be a therapist to someone. So do we have those people in our families that can actually help, or it's all like one man for himself and let the world destroy us all?
I think that can be in two parts.
Yeah.
To some extent, yes, it can be possible. But then all depends on how biased those people are. That's the first thing. And how open-minded they are. You can say brothers. Sometimes when you say your brother, the first thing, most probably, is going to say, like, I want to tell mom.
Because maybe I even remember a time when I was in Form 2 or something, and then my mom put up and said, like, not that my grades were that good, obviously. And then she said, nah, you're literally dumb, like that. And I still remember that shit. You would never forget that shit.
Imagine all those years. You haven't forgotten that.
And I imagine all those years and I haven't forgotten that shit. And you have a persona where you have someone who says, okay, someone just called me dumb. Someone just called me a thief. Someone just called me a whore, a prostitute.
Yeah.
Someone is going to say, no, let me fight this stereotype. But literally there's a percentage that's falling in that stereotype. They're saying, the society has already made me this, so why not? Why not?
That's true.
You cease to care. You cease to care. So all these family structures and what's happening, I don't know which side, from your own side, what type of family member would you say you are to your family?
Personally, not bigging myself up, obviously, but then I feel like I'm more open-minded.
Is it?
Because there's been situations where, like, a family member tells me something.
Yeah.
And I keep it in. Instead, they say it's a secret, don't tell anybody. The only thing they need, because sometimes, bro, like, they don't need you to judge them.
They don't.
Just listen.
They don't.
Not every time you're supposed to tell them what to do, like, nah. Sometimes, bro, there's a situation where, like, say my twin sister can say, yo, bro.
You got a twin sister?
Yeah, bro.
This is news. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's what contributed to me being open-minded, because there's certain things between us, but, like, you can never tell anybody.
You got more ties like that.
Yeah, like, you never tell anybody. The only person you could trust with the information is your twin. And come rain, come thunder. They'll never tell anybody.
I guess that with my brother too. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you think you could have a favorite family member, or you could have a close family member, or there is no ranking at all?
I feel like with each family member, there's a difference. There's a different relationship.
Yeah.
You get it?
Yeah.
You can say, for example, with my sister, or too goony, clownish, whatever.
Yeah.
With my brother, can be more serious with things that we share that are special. So I feel like in each of their own ways, they're my favorite. You get it? Because you can never share the same relationship with your brother, your sister, or whatever.
Like that. There was something that I was saying the other time when I was posting, and I was saying, what we're trying to do is, if you are my family member, right?
Yeah.
Let's try to be friends. If you are my friends, let's try to be family.
Yeah.
So that then, when we jump those boundaries, the level of openness is then we're able to get into that relationship, because you're no longer just my brother, you're my friend. I can tell you information. Yeah. Also, in the same way, you need to be ready to receive. Like, your sister needs to know that my brother, like, is ready to receive me. Because the moment we shine each other, I still remember when I was growing up, my brother didn't want me to go walking around with him because he wanted to see his girls and shit like that. So literally he had cut me off like that. Yeah. And he knew the person he was going to pick for those rounds and shit like that. Yeah. So there's a certain level of openness that we give to some family members and those that we don't give to some family members, which could also contribute to the level of openness that's there.
Now, okay, I agree with that to some extent, because, for example, what the example you made about your brother, that sometimes you're just going to see his goals, you're just going to leave you behind. I feel like there's some things, as much as we're family, and as much as we can be family and friends, there's some things you're not supposed to learn from your brother. Because Imagine at that age, he's going to see girls.
Yeah.
Maybe it was in a morally proper way.
Okay.
You get it?
Okay.
And then he exposed you to that at that kind of age.
Yeah.
You get it? So the influence that it's going to have on you is going to be, you get it? Maybe he was going around.
It was going to make me a playboy.
And no, not playboy per se, but then, if you say, for example, he was going around, your respect for girls was going to be dented a bit. Okay. You get it?
So, but what if I see him treating a girl nice? Because the same way we're talking about how all these people are affected by their family structures or where they're coming from. Imagine I'm able to see my brother take care of a lady, properly show her respect and all that, and I can see it as I'm young.
Yeah.
Doesn't that also affect the way I'm going to see ladies and how I'm going to appreciate the opposite sex?
It does. But then doesn't mean every time he's going to see his girl is supposed to be there. Because not every time he's going to give her flowers.
Yeah, true.
But sometimes people are going to do their own shit.
True.
Personal shit.
Personal shit. Yeah,
you get it. So I feel like there's going to be times where you're going to see him showing off proper gestures whereby you're around. Then there are times where like, nah.
Because in the same way, now that I'm grown up, it's just that I've been the last born in my family, so I've never had the opportunity to have a youngie behind me. But at the same time, like, I don't feel comfortable working with a young nigga going to my rounds and shit. Like, I'm gonna do that shit alone.
Exactly.
So yeah, I get that shit.
Yeah, let them have their own experiences alone with their friends. You get it. The same way you had your experiences. I'm sure. Maybe you regret some things, but most of the things you're glad that you learned.
So do you think like now that our brothers are older or whatnot, they could also come to us and ask for advice, or who's helping our brothers out? That's my question. Who's helping our older siblings out? Like, where are they going? Unless they have cool friends and shit like that, or money for therapy, but aren't they going through issues and their own traumas that now we're just looking at them like, oh, my brother is doing some fucked up shit that said, or my brother is involved in this and that. But isn't that shit like that also emanated when they were young and they never had anyone to talk to? What do we do now?
I feel like that's when your point came in, but like, if we're family, let's normalize being friends. If you're friends, let's be family. Because, for example, it's going to be way easier for your brother to come to you for advice when he thinks of you as a friend, not as a younger brother. Because the moment you put in that ranking, it's going to be like, what does he know? What the heck does this know? Yeah. So I feel like the moment, obviously it's not going to be a thing, you get it. But I feel like the moment we introduce that bit by bit gradually, it's going to be way much easier. But then it'll be better if, let's say, for example, there are friends they can talk to. Like without any toxic mindset, nothing like that. You get it. Or if there's therapy, but then if you can clearly see that your brother's going through shit. Clearly. I mean, it doesn't mean if you show, even if you're scared of him, bro, just go say what's up. You don't have to ask him like, yo, what's happening? Just go talk to the person. Because sometimes, bro, people are going through shit. The only thing they need, bro, is someone to talk to.
Yeah, I also feel like the same way you're talking about, like, what's up, what's good, like, the initiative to know. Because in the same way, we have people that are going through shit, right, that now don't know where to go. Literally, you tell yourself, everyone's been through that issue where you go through some shit, you go through your phone, you're like, there's no one to talk to. Okay, you check around your house, literally everyone is in their rooms or doing some shit. No one is there to say what's up. Because the moment you say what's up, even in our culture, people say Jakaoma, just to tell you, yo, my nigga, like things are not okay. Just like that. But it needs to be initiated. People need to know that what's up. Like we need to check on our family members. We need to check on these older guys, you know? That's the shit that's there.
Yeah, that's true. But I think it's such a shame that with our community, bro, it's not a common thing.
It's not a common thing.
Like you said, when you say, you good, my one too.
Yeah.
Like, no one is ever clear.
Yeah,
no one is ever clear. Like, with African society, bro, ask a simple question, no one gives you a straightforward answer.
None. Everything, okay.
It's like we've normalized not showing our feelings
and shit like that.
To some extent, I understand, because not everyone who's asking you is
genuinely asking
you. You get it. Don't you just spill your beans.
But that's the same situation we're talking about. Like, if you're a family member of mine, right, and we are not able to get into that friendship zone, right? maybe it's okay, we're going to be the best of family members, but maybe you're not the person who needs to know me to that extent. So maybe that should also be a bar to say, if I'm going to try and make my brother Elvis my friend, and I see that it's not quite out like that, then let it go.
Yeah, don't force it.
Yeah, don't force it, exactly. Don't force it. Don't force it on your parent. If they have that type of mentality and mindset, don't force it on them. Because you're going to have now fights where you're going to be becoming like the Western kid. Like the kid that has been exposed to so many information and you're looking at everyone else like they're dumb.
Yeah.
Which doesn't make sense.
As much as we're saying normalize being friends, but then the reality is that before friendship, they're your siblings first. They're your parents first.
Yeah.
So if you become friends, there's going to be that boundary, there's going to be crosses that you're going to disrespect them. You get it? Because that's my homie.
Yeah.
Same way if you say, yo, fuck you, I'm like, get it right.
Yeah, I feel that shit.
Exactly. So I feel like there's still supposed to be that.
Crazy story. There's this other time, right? I was going with my mom. I think we're going to the farm when I was a kid. So it's not my fault because I was a kid. Yeah. So literally we were just talking with my mom. So I felt like we were literally bonding, right? Then she asked me, yo, what do you feel like with that's happening with your brother and shit like that? Then I told her upfront that you guys, you don't know how to talk to him. Because I feel like you're pushing him in a corner. And he was telling me that you guys literally are trying to force him to do shit that he doesn't want to do. Guess what? 2 months down the line, there's a family meeting. And I'm just there sitting in the corner. Then out of my nowhere, my mom just jumps out and she's like, yo, even Charles was saying this about him, that he doesn't want, he feels like we're forcing him. Then I'm just there like, yo, where's the trust? Like, why did you spill the beans? I feel like sometimes you trust too much, and then these niggas just like up and disrespect the trust. Like,
I feel like the moment you give someone the trust in their privacy, they're gonna be responsible enough to be reasonable.
To keep that information in.
Because what you said makes sense. Because there's this thing where like they say like with your parent, African parent, like. A joke can turn into a whole conversation.
A joke is a whole conversation. Like the whole diagonal of the joke. You can't even bring a lady to your house and say that this is my friend. We just because they will take that shit literally. They will take that shit literally.
So like you have to watch every single thing you say, and then because of that kind of reaction and that kind of trust, you will never, ever tell them anything that is sensitive or that is somehow. But problematic.
I also feel like that's very sad in a way because parents will never get to know who their kids really are and how much potential they have. Or even if they don't have potential, once you get to know what your child is thinking, then you can really help him on the basis of what he's thinking. Like if he's not even able to share that information, literally you're staying with a stranger.
Bruh, honestly, I feel like most parents here, 90% of them don't know their kids.
They're staying with strangers.
If there are any parents watching now, there are many kids who are fucking sad out there, depressed, a lot. I'm not just saying it.
There are kids,
a fucking lot.
There are kids who want to be checked up on. There are kids who want to actually ask them, what's really going on in your life? Are you okay? Are you mentally, physically, everything? Like, people really are waiting to be asked the right questions. Because they know they're going to get judged. They're afraid of that. So parents need to show initiative. The same way kids also need to show initiative.
Yeah, because as much as they believe that, hey, Sakura Misha, the Miss Raw areas.
Yeah.
Bruh, times have changed.
True.
You get it.
So that's the whole debate of modernization and families.
Exactly. Because, bruh, times have changed. So if you want to put that whole traditional mindset, not that abandon tradition, but then the communication between a child and their parent is now different nowadays.
Yeah, true.
No, maybe they'll tell you do that and you do it, but then now the social aspect of our lives has changed. We're going through so much shit.
Not so much. I'm hearing like the effects that's saying like 1/3 of the sub-Saharan Africans lived in urban areas in 1996. Like up to 1995, this whole shit changed. Like the numbers went up. Like the percentage of people, like literally, it's changing. The dynamics of families are changing. Now there's this topic of like, you know how they are extended families.
Yeah.
Mostly in Africa, they're extended families. You have people that are staying with their uncles. You have people that are staying with their aunts. Like the whole dynamics of that. What family would you think serves more to a child mentally? An extended family or a nuclear family?
I feel like extended families, as much as they are nice, they have their advantages and disadvantages. But personally, I feel like if you can raise your child, let it be just a family dynamic. Raise the child first.
They say it takes a village to raise a young dog. Like, you need a whole freaking village for that.
That can be an argument. Yeah. Because we also say that most people are harmed in their child.
They have the whole village behind them.
In a whole village behind them. You get it? It's not a stranger. Obviously, there are some strangers who do harm. Yeah. But in most times, I'm not quoting anyway. And most times, it's someone who's close to you. Your uncle, your whatever. Yeah. You get it? So I'm saying that up until at least a certain age, raise your child properly. Because no one can have 30 masters, bro.
True.
Your mom is saying you do things like this. Your uncle's coming through like, no, do things like this.
Have you ever had the argument that they say like kids pick up vulgar language from neighbors and shit like that because they're gonna play in the other yard and shit like that? That could just be a true thing.
Because when you're a kid, bro, you soak up too much shit. That's the time you just learn a lot of things, bro. No wonder some kids, bro, they torment to society. It's because of the environment where they
soaked up so much shit.
Yo, bro. Now we can blame them and say that kid is a fucking dick, but then think way back.
Yeah, because the same way they say charity begins at home, right? Yeah. That's the same issue with everything. Giving begins at home. You see how your parents are giving. You see how your parents are caring. You see how your siblings react around your parents, and that's how you initialize it. It's very sad, like, for those kids that grow up alone with their parents and shit. The experiences could be even much different than the ones from us. But you soak up a lot of information and behavior.
Yeah, because for example, what you mentioned, that some kids grow up with single mothers or fathers. Yeah. And us, at least we're fortunate enough with both. But then I feel like it would be nice if you come from a proper family, like both parents are around. But then not removing credit to single parents.
Yeah, I think let's not discredit the efforts that people have made, that uncles have made, that single mothers have made. But in the same way, even in primary, you see a child that comes from a family with a mother and father. It's so different from the ones that are coming or being taken care by their aunt or someone somewhere. In my primary school, I could know a lot of people that like, you know, our whole school could know that kid is going through shit, or they're coming from an orphanage. They were so quiet. The kids that were out there and that were positively talking, even all this stuff, were people that were actually coming from proper families. I even think like the escapism for all these kids that were going through shit was sports. Or some shit that you could actually tell that the people who could play football are coming from this type of background. Not that that's a bad thing, but it's actually surprising, you know?
Yeah, and on that part, let's not discredit anybody. There are people from families, from orphanages and single parent households who are like, they're amazing children.
They're taking care of these kids nicely.
Yeah, properly. More than parents households. And one other thing that you say is that most of them usually prosper in soccer and whatever, but then with Africans, it's too bad that you have to call those recreational activities.
Yeah, right.
You get it? Because those things, bro, they could have made those people totally successful. Because imagine soccer, some of them would draw, some of them would do different things, but then because us were told that for you to succeed, school. Nothing else.
Because how many people from our own towns and communities can we actually truly say, nah, that one he made it through soccer, or that one made it through tennis or swimming? I know so many people from my primary school that were doing swimming that are now working, that were playing soccer, that were playing cricket, that were so amazing in hockey and shit like that. But right now they're in offices, and it really hurts me because the potential that you can see in all these kids, somewhere just gets gunned down.
In my school, bro, like the people who could sing, athletics, those guys were fucking talented. Yeah. But all of them, they did that when they were still in school. Yeah. After that, finish.
Because even back to the family aspect, people that get pushed, it's like their parents that know that their kid is good in soccer. They will buy like shooters for their kid. They will buy every equipment to push all that. But then if your family doesn't even care about that shit. They just want to see your report card when the term finishes. I'm telling you, you're just going to be back on that desk unless someone spots your talent around, even.
Yeah, that's true. And not everyone is gifted academically. And one thing that I always said, nobody's dumb. You know that? Like, nobody's dumb.
True.
A person can flunk primary school and excel secondary school.
Yeah. I could just be that person. I could just be that. Not that I was exceptional, but I think I'm coming from dumb to better. Yeah.
So, like, if you force a person to, like, be proper academically, maybe that's not their thing.
Yeah.
Concentrate on their whatever that interests them.
I feel like with what you're saying, to bring it back, is to say, if you've got your child, if you got your brother, if you got your sister, do you even know the talents that they have? Do you even know the passions, the things that they want to do? Do you even know what they are watching? Like, do we really care enough to see the passions of our family members, or we just let it go? Wait for the report card also.
Now, I feel like most times probably let it go, because it can't be a coincidence that Western countries, they're most popping with music industry, actors and whatever. In Africa, there's nothing.
Yeah, look.
Clearly something is missing.
Look at Miley Cyrus. Look at Justin Bieber. All those people were pushed at a young age. Like, who are we pushing in our communities, in our families? Like, are we giving even these kids a chance to be pushed there? No one is doing that shit.
Yeah, no one's developing that talent. Obviously, sometimes it's not the parents, but in the environment that we're in. No sponsors are there to just show some love to those people, obviously. But then, at least, right now we're talking about families.
Yeah.
Give a proper push.
Yeah.
At least do your 50%, then...
Just do it. Do it.
Because I feel like, bruh, the moment in Africa, bruh, there's way too much talent. Way too much. The moment we nurture that talent, bruh.
In Africa, there's too much talent. There's too much industries that we haven't even begun to tap into. Because half the time we're just copying right now from the Western countries. Imagine if we could sustain such a system where the music industry is growing from a young age, the sports industry. You would see how many new sports even come from Africa. Do we even have new sports that are coming from Africa?
It's like we're not developing our own things.
We are not. Literally, we are not. So we could blame the government. We could blame the schools. Let's start off at home. What the hell are we doing with our kids at home?
Yeah, that's true. Because, I mean, like, I feel like we've been programmed in a way that everything we do has to come from somewhere.
Yeah.
Most people right now, if they're going to school, their main wish is to escape the country. Develop somewhere else. But then the funny part is that here in your own country, here in Africa, most people are giving you jobs overseas. They're doing investments here in Africa. Getting the minerals here in Africa. But then you're escaping. That means that's something that you're not seeing.
Yeah. Now, I know this part from Zuchi Cockdope. Shout out to Zuchi Cockdope. He says, why the hell are you hating on us when you're getting all these diamonds from Africa? We literally even hate on ourselves and forget that they're getting all this shit from us.
Yeah.
If kids can realize their potential with strangers in high schools, in their community and their friends, imagine if your own child realized their potential when they're still at home. Imagine how much power that kid would be different from someone who told them at 21 that you are amazing. Imagine that kid was being told that you're amazing at 2 years old, to the point where it's a big difference. Yeah. Putting in energy at home will make a big difference in this society as a whole.
Yeah, definitely. And not saying that now that you're 20 years old is too late. But then, even at this point, bro, like, I feel like our generation, as much as we claim to work, if that's true, if we fail to be successful and put Africa in a whole different level, it will be so sad, bro.
Yeah, for me, I feel like with this whole initiative of being woke and everything, people think that being woke is being able to fish information that's outside in all these Western countries. Who has the best data? But for me, if you're going to be woke for your family. Be woke for your community. Be woke for the people around you. Because if you're woke enough to realize all these tendencies and say, you know what? oh, this shit has been happening all along, but I'm telling myself that from today, when I look at my younger brother, I'm going to push positivity to him. When I look at my mom, I'm going to push positivity to her. You are more woke than someone who's on Twitter. For me, to be honest.
That's true. That's woke. And woke also can mean like breaking out of a mindset that's your people, that means your ancestors, the whole African society.
Yeah.
We have been put in this box and mindset that we think in a certain way. And the moment you break out of that system, that circle, for the better of your people.
Yes.
So not about and woke, the Sudanese out there. It's not film.
Like,
you work in a way that's going to benefit your own people. Because we'll talk Sudanism and all that. How is it benefiting your people at the end of the day? If it does, proper for you. But then, I think the system needs to change now. It's not about the government, politics, no.
Let's remove that shit.
Yeah, because now we're the point, we're fortunate enough with the point that we can't really rely on the government for most things. When you have social media, we have internet. That means most things you want to push, you can push them for yourself. Most people are doing stuff with iPhones, bro. Or if you don't have an iPhone, you can borrow from a friend. Doesn't mean to sit there.
I got an iPhone, like my friend gave it to me. Shout out to Sean at the back there. Yeah.
So, bro, it's like, I feel like now is the perfect time for most African kids, bro. Even old people. I mean, this thing doesn't even...
Boundary, like
boundary,
that.
yeah. So, I feel like if you have something that you need to do, if you know that's your purpose, if they say go to school, go to school. I mean, it's reasonable. They're not doing it so that you can fall in love or whatever, but then they're trying to make sure that if, in case your dream doesn't work out, you have a pillow. You get it. It's just being smart. But then try to push your passion. You get it.
Yeah, for me, I also feel like, what really can we do if our parents are saying go to school? Like, most of the time, when I didn't even want to go to school, I was forced to go there every morning about, make time for your mind. Make time for your passions in between everything that's happening in the world. Like, there are so many families in America that look up to Kanye, that look up to Jay-Z, because they see the blueprint that was left. In our own countries, in South Zim, Botswana, who literally can we look up to in our community and say, oh, look, that's like the Jay-Z of this hood. He used to stay 2 blocks from here. He's doing it big in SA. He's doing it big in Namibia. Who do we have as a blueprint? No one. Like, literally, we need people that, like you're saying now, that there's no age to this. Literally, the moment you change your mindset and start pushing your passion, you're going to give hope to so many people in your family, in your community, in the whole region. And if that's not being woke, then I don't know what is.
Yeah, that's an amazing point. And also, just important, just because we discussed all this doesn't mean disobey your parents. And
be like, go, you're like, yo.
I just said this now. Don't disobey your parents. It's just a different mindset, a different scope they were showing you. Like, okay, she can go this way too. You don't have to think like this, isn't?
You need to balance it. You need to balance it. Like, know your environment. My friend's family is not the way my family is. Know your environment. Know where you're coming from. Know the tendencies of your parents. Know the defaults of your parents. Know the blunders and the amazingness of your parents. That's the only way you're going to navigate it. Because the only issue I'm having is people are pushing so many ideas to parents that don't get it, that they're just looking at these kids like, yo, what are you even singing about? Like, you need to introduce this information to them in the way that's... And if they don't receive it, it's okay. You did your part. You tried your best. But also do your best in the best way. Don't do your best that's not accommodative to the mindsets and to the places that our parents are coming from.
Yeah, because, bruh, we come from different places.
True.
Our parents and us. At this point, our parents are slow. You can't go tell them, like, Charles said this, you should do this. Bruh, they won't understand it. So try to make them understand properly. You get it? And also, another thing, I feel like as much as our parents can inhibit us with certain things, but then most things they do is in the best interest. You get it? So filter your things, bro. Like, if there's certain things you know that clearly for your benefit, be honest with yourself.
Yeah,
Don't
be honest with yourself.
Yeah, I'm rebellious, whatever. That won't get you nowhere. Trust me.
The same way. Okay, you want to sing. Okay, you want to do art. You know when you go and push this idea to our parents, the first thing they're going to say is, get the heck out. Then why go? Push your work, because your product and your passion, that's your product. That's your signature move. Yeah. So why not work on your signature move and then go to your parents when they can see that, oh, you got so many views on YouTube, you're making so much money off this, or you're pushing this and that, and it's fulfilling you. Because once you do your passion, you might not need to get the views, but you might need to feel peace inside.
Yeah.
And if they can see that peace in you, it's okay.
Yeah, and also, I'm not just going to say, hey, parents, there's some parents that are pieces of shit.
True.
In that case, bruh, do you, in the healthiest way. Not do you as in fuck yourself up, no. Like, outprove yourself, bro. Like, outdo yourself. That way, be your own role model. Set the standards for yourself. Because not everyone is proper parents. Not everyone is a proper childhood and all that. So it's up to you to change your life. Nobody else is going to do it for you.
That's really amazing, the way you even say set the standards for yourself. So many people come from places where you don't even have a dog to look up to. But then, what are you going to do? Are you going to fulfill whatever is happening in the trenches, or you're going to make the light for yourself? Literally, you need to dig deep inside your own soul and make yourself the role model for that shit. Yeah. It doesn't mean you have to go and change the world, but it means that in that small community you're living in, with those 5 people you know in your life, try to make an impact. Yeah. That's basically all you're trying to do. You're not there to save the world, but save your mind and save those that are close to you. Simple as that.
Yeah, and just in case you thought that's going to be as easy as we're saying it's going to be. Nah, bruh. Shit is hard out here.
Shit is hard.
Just because it's hard for you doesn't mean it's not hard for anybody else.
Yeah.
Shit is fucking hard.
Yeah.
Nothing good comes easy.
Yeah, true.
That's one thing I've told myself. So whatever you're working up to, for some people it's going to be easy. I mean, we have different opportunities. But then for some, it's going to be fucking hard. It won't take a week. It can take 10 years.
Yeah.
But then so test your patience, test your will. Whether the outcome that's going to come later on, if you deserve it or not. Because if you say the result's going to come after 10 years, but after 1 year you give up, that means you don't deserve it.
You don't. You really
don't. You don't to work for it.
Because what you're talking about, results and progress, right? If you work on your studies and you can get a certain result from it, that you can see that you pushed in work, are we pushing in the work in our families? Like, you could push so much influence and change the dynamics. A good morning to your mother, that's progress. A good night to your mother. An app message, even after 10 years, to say, how are you doing? I know we went through this and that, but I'm looking to start afresh. I'm looking to see if we can rebuild this relationship. That's working on it. That's working on your own relationship with parents. It's not even supposed to start with the, hey, hello, and it's already, yo, I forgive you, or we are moving on. Different situation, different stories.
Yeah, definitely.
The problem is, if we are trying to push the story that we had that happened with Elvis in America, and we think it's going to happen to us, news check, like, you're going to be disappointed. News check, you're going to see so many variables in your own story because it's your story. It's not anyone else's story. So stop looking for similarities. Stop looking for the green light that someone got. You're not going to get it.
Yeah.
You know, it's simple as that. It's simple as that. Because with this whole issue of saying reroute, we are rerouting our mindsets. We're trying to reroute the mindsets of our whole family. And it wouldn't need to be easy if it's rerouting. Rerouting from a certain angle is the hardest shit ever. Because this is behavior that's now in us that grew up from a young age. Yeah. These are tendencies. Imagine a child can learn how to talk from just hearing the parents talk. That's how behavior is. The way you talk, the way you walk, it's stuff that you saw. It's so hard to even learn another language at a younger age because you're trying to reroute from your own language. So progress is hard. But are you willing to work on it?
Yeah. For example, right now we have 0 views. We haven't posted shit yet. But best believe next week we're going to be fucking here.
And we're going to push.
Yeah.
Because that's the progress we're looking for. The dynamics of everything here is to say it's not progress for even views, it's progress for one person changing their mind. Even us talking and discussing, we are investigating the depths of our mind.
Yeah.
So literally, how many people are investigating the depths of their mind when they're at home? Or at home, that's the place you're just going to eat food and go sleep. Like literally, it's a camp for you to just... It's very interesting.
Yeah, this is for us, isn't it? Not for you. Because think about it. Right now, instead of doing this, I could have been sleeping. What benefit is that?
Straight up.
Drowned in my own fucking head. At least here you come through. What if for you can be soccer, can be swimming. That 3 hours or 30 minutes of your life, bro, can be very useful.
It can change the whole perspective of whatever you want to do, whatever you'd like to do. So basically, even with finding your passion in your families and all that, is to say, find something that gives you a drive and a passion to keep on going forward. Even look in your families and check if your son, what does he like to do? That's basically the whole issue of this thing. Find out what your mom liked to do when she was young. Find out what your little brother is into. And also push that. Because the only way we can be pushing and investigating our minds is if we're even interested in it. Because half the time, people at home are just sitting and they're just chilling. Watching TV. So the same way Elvis is saying that he's here investigating his mind in the passion of something he loves, is the same way you're also supposed to be at home investigating your mind to say, what do I love doing? Do I love going out for listening to music or concerts? And then look in that genre of music. What music makes you open your mind, makes you think? If you like sports, look at what people in sports are doing. Look at the work ethics for Cristiano Ronaldo, Lionel Messi, and see how much work they are pushing in. In that way, you get to understand this information. Basically, that's the whole gist to it.
Yeah, because basically, like one thing that I read yesterday is that the best way you go about things, for example, let's say you don't have a certain interest, you haven't discovered yourself yet, give yourself time.
True.
Instead of one day thing, give yourself time. Don't be in a noisy room or whatever. Take time to yourself. Just chill by yourself. I mean, there's a whole internet, YouTube. Learn about things. You can find something that you love. Yeah. And the moment you find that thing that you love, for example, I love talking.
Yeah.
That's why I'm talking right now.
Yeah.
The moment you find that thing that you love, lock in. Like, make sure you investigate every aspect of it. That's the only way you can be successful in it. You have peace of mind in it. Because you're going to say, I love music. But every time I listen to music, I feel nice. But then the only thing you do is just listen to it. If you love it so much, get involved in the business.
Or you're even listening to lines that don't even relate to your life.
Yeah.
Like balance that shit. Even with music, balance that shit.
Yeah, it doesn't mean sometimes you have to have a talent for music. You can develop. Some people are not talented in certain things, but then they work hard to be good at it.
Imagine the whole music industry. You have producers, you have people that are making videos, you have people, there's a whole dynamic to it. It's not just in one box, but you will never find your place if you don't get in.
Yeah, if you just play a triangle, ting,
you're okay.
Something.
You're okay. Literally, you're okay. There's so much shit out there to do. So I guess with this as a whole point is to say, us as youth in Africa, us as youth in our homes, as people who are listening to this, what do we think we are ready to do? What do we want to do? What passion fulfills us? What's that thing you left a long time back but you thought this thing was amazing for you? I've seen people who do cover musics for all these guys. You can see that this person has a passion for music and they're just pushing their passion. Yeah. That's what's needed right now.
And also, if you're doing this thing, don't first have the mindset of that, I want to get money. Yes, if you're going to get money, you're going to get money. But then, first, fulfill yourself. You get it. Do it for the love of it. On this, not saying that you don't pay rent. On the side, be logical enough to know that you're supposed to get a job to pay rent. Up until what you love gives you money. You get it.
Yeah.
So be wise with your shit.
Because literally all this stuff that a person who does what they love to do, right? Even just for 1 hour, their mindset is different from someone who's being forced to go to work his whole life. You're much more happier because you're doing something you love. It's supposed to give you peace. The same way your family is supposed to give you peace, your friends are supposed to give you peace. It's what you're surrounding your whole mental around. Is it your music? Is it your school life? All that shit. It has to have balance. So even going back to the whole topic of the structure of the family, what's happening in our families, do we have balance around that shit? Yeah. How long do you even take to check up on your family? How regularly do you check up on them?
To be honest, depends with the family member. For example, my dad, they can be once a week, once a month. Yo, what's up? Yeah, just checking in. But then I feel like there's a minute to talk every day. Depends with the dynamic of your family.
Yeah,
we get it. Because with some family, just saying you're good is enough.
Yeah, it's okay, right?
Get it?
Yeah.
Doesn't mean to talk to them. 24/7, like.
Yeah.
What's happening?
For me, the same thing is the truth. Sometimes we are also like totally, our lives are now totally different, right? Yeah. But yeah, you're good, you're okay. It doesn't need to be every day.
Yeah, but then like, just check in.
Yeah, check in and show that it's okay. Like it's a good vibe. It's okay. When we meet, we're gonna have fun. We're gonna chill.
Lock in definitely.
Yeah, we're gonna lock in definitely. So yeah, checking up is also like a necessary thing in these families because few people are checking up. Now comes to a different whole aspect of this. What happens when someone in the family goes through shit? How do we react to a family member who's going through shit, who just went through a traumatizing event?
Yeah.
How are people literally, I don't know how to say it, like bringing him back in the family, or how are people treating him? I don't know if there's been a situation like that in your family where someone is caught up in something and you've seen the way that is treated or some shit like that.
Not exactly, but somehow. But then one thing I can say, first thing if someone comes to you, even in the family or friendship, first thing, when they decide to tell you something, don't react, don't judge, just fucking listen. After they've talked whatever they're talking, because I'm sure when they're coming to you, they'll tell you exactly what they need. And listen. If they want you to have your input, you can give them the input, like, nah, bruh, be understanding, be open-minded. Because realize this, the moment someone tells you something, and you have a negative response, they will never tell you again. That means they're going to keep that shit in. If they don't have anyone else to tell, they'll keep that shit in. It's going to fucking rot their, like, fuck up their mindset. That's why with some people are fortunate enough to have strong mentalities. That means they can withstand anything. But then for some people, I've seen different occasions, people end up committing suicide. And on most of the time, when someone commits suicide, nobody knows why.
No one. In the whole family.
In the whole family, nobody knows why. It's because you never paid attention. So, I mean, think of the outcome. Suicide. Just let your child tell you whatever they're going to tell you. Don't judge them. Just listen.
Because even this whole issue of addictions and everything, kids have said it's a way for us to actually therapeutize without even having to talk to anyone. So you see the depths of not being able to talk to your family members. If from my side, I've had someone that they said, nah, that one is a drug, he is going to steal from us. The whole stigma happened to the point where this person ended up dying and he didn't even get to know all his family members properly. Or he didn't even get, because he separated themselves from the whole family. Like, how are we judging people? How are we initializing information that comes to us as a family? Some people are being literally, they can only be accepted in the streets because in their families no one is ready to accept them like that.
And think how sad it is now that a person has died. And say, you should have known. What?
What?
The person is gone.
What? Literally, what?
But in the funny part, after that has happened, it's like the cycle repeats itself. Someone again is going to come with the same situation. Not exactly the same, but then they need to be listened to. Quick, judge again. It's like nobody listens.
No one wants to learn because people are deep rooted with their own mentals of just sucking in all that hatred to this kid who's just caught up in something, or this girl who was caught up in a bad relationship, and now she's been caught up in the whole stereotype of being a prostitute and being a hoe. But damn. Like, we are repeating the same cycle over and over again. So next time someone comes to you and asks you something and tries to engage with you, just ask yourself, what am I pushing? What energies am I initializing to this person and in my own family?
Yeah, definitely. To the person that people, friends can come to and be comfortable enough to share with you information knowing that you can help them. Because, bruh, this is life. This is someone's life we're talking about.
This is someone's life.
Yeah. So let's make sure that she is proper this time around.
Because we are different beings. We are different beings who react differently to different situations. Yes, you were able to be successful. Yes, you were able to do whatever you did and to withstand this shit. But some people went through different situations and they were not able to go through it. Maybe they didn't have the right people to support them and they ended up in street gangs. They ended up with the wrong partner. They ended up with the sex tape on Facebook and all that shit. But that's the difference in our situations. Our humanity is literally shown in how we react to these different situations. Because if you can treat your cousin who managed to get a master's degree nice, and you're not able to treat your cousin who's back in the rural areas nicely, and you're shining on them, what does that say about you as a human?
Yeah, definitely.
What is our character saying to other family members in our whole society as large as we are? As Africans, what are we saying to the world? How do we treat our families? Because the same way we don't get respect to the world in large, it's because how are we respecting our kids? How are we respecting our parents? How are we initializing our strength as a family? The same way now we don't even have strength as a country. We don't even have strength as a continent. It's because we never had strength as a family unit.
Yeah, because another thing is that for people who smoke and whatever, who drink and stuff, it doesn't mean I'm a bad person. You call me a bad person.
Yeah.
And the only thing you're supposed to think about is that this person is doing this. Why? No one just does something for no fucking reason. If I drink, there's a reason why I drink. And ask me, don't judge me. Isn't? And for example, what you said, the reason why I talk about families is that before you came with the president, before you manage the country, first manage your family. If the house is strong, then now we're good. You can't tell me that you're going to fix the whole country. While at home, you don't even know what the fuck is happening.
Yeah, like how you can't even give $1 to your son, and we expect you to give free food to people that are dying in poverty.
No,
that does not literally
definitely
work.
not.
So this whole episode in its intel is to like put an X-ray to our families. First, our families. Let's put an X-ray. We're gonna deal with so many issues, right? But even before we get there, even when we get there, we must know the basis of our behavior. We must know the basis of our mental, which are stuff like families, schools, friends, all our relationships. And family is a big part of our DNA. It's a big part of where we come from. It's a big part to where we are even going. So if we fail to put a light on that, whatever we're going to do is going to be fake. And that's the honest truth.
Yeah, and if you're watching this, don't just watch this, find it interesting, then sleep. At least just watch this and let's just go to your mom, to your parents and say, hey,
try it out.
You're good.
Try it out.
What you up to? What you watching? Just chill.
Try it out. Try it out. Literally,
something small like that.
That's all that's there. Just try this shit out.
Doesn't mean write an essay, long essay. No. Just a small initiative. You know, bro, how a compliment goes. Like, the moment someone just says, bro, you look nice today. Bro.
Hey.
It makes your fucking day.
It makes your whole day. Changes I've seen ladies light up like that.
Bruh. Just a few words.
So imagine that just starts when you're leaving your room and you meet your mom in the passage and she says you're looking nice.
You look nice.
Your whole day could just be affected by that.
And imagine how many people tell your mom you look beautiful. I'm assuming a few. Because, no one says that to most adults. Imagine you tell your mom
you like, today you look sexy as hell.
But if you say South African parent, you get whooped.
Nah, try it out now. We're going to try it out and see what happens. Like, well, people try this shit out.
Yeah, definitely. But then, definitely. So that's the content that we have, bro.
Yeah. So coming to the end of the podcast, I'm not sure if you have any last words you want to put out there. Yeah. For me, basically, I'm just going to say, let's dig deep into where we are coming from. Let's try to know our families and also know the reality of your family. Don't try to take what's happening in different households and put them in yours. Your family is different from the other family, and your family is unique in its pain and in its own sorrow. and then understand that and put it into practice. See the energy you're giving to your mom. See the energy you're giving to your cousin. See the energy you're giving to all these people you talk to on app. Let's reroute our own mindset, basically.
Yeah, and what you said, the energy you give out sometimes may not be the energy you get back, but then you did your part.
Yeah.
Because this whole thing is about fulfilling you as a person. You're trying to fulfill somebody else, and it starts with you. So if you give out energy to your brother, and they don't give it back, it's okay.
It's okay.
You did your part.
It's okay.
Yeah, so those are the last words for me.
Okay, so thank you guys for listening in. If you came this far, check out the next episode. I don't know when it is, but hopefully, we're gonna see what comes out of this. I don't know. Subscribe, like, comment, share, everything. Just keep the energies inbound. If you like something, take it, share it to someone. Let's keep the energies flowing. Let's rebuild the energies of this whole continent of our families. Shout out.
And one more thing before the camera cuts.
Yeah.
You see, we're talking about Africans.
African mindset.
So make sure you're the African mindset. If you don't like those people talking about.
Yeah, you're the hater. You're the African mindset.
So make sure you're the African mindset, the typical.
Yeah.
Be different.
Shout out. Peace out.
How was it?
It was dope, dog.